How did you make the most out of your high school experience, especially considering the impact of the pandemic?
Ever since I was a freshman, I joined student government. I felt like it was a really good opportunity to be involved with the school, and we had a lot of assemblies, and they take care of all the dances, so I really found that really interesting. During the pandemic, it was definitely hard because none of that could happen and it was all online. So it was pretty hard for me to keep involved, but I made sure that I talked to my teachers and I made sure that I, just kept going and kept being involved as much as I could with social media and stuff like that.
What I did was I played a lot of sports. This let me meet a lot of new people, kept me busy, helped me with a lot of other stuff, as well, helps with, building character, toughness, stuff like that. And it was just fun, when I need to break from the schoolwork, from the classroom and stuff like that, I knew I could, go out and play, go out and train, go hang out with friends, and it was what helped me get through the hard parts of high school.
I think with the pandemic, it kind of helped me make the most of my high school experience because I had a lot of things taken away from me, so I wanted to try a lot of more new things. So anything that sounded of interest to me, I decided to try, and if I liked it, I liked it, and if I didn't, I didn't, and I think that helped a lot.
What did you do to stay involved in your senior year?
My senior year was definitely a crazy one because of the fact that 2 years before it, COVID hit, and I had to get back into the swing of things and miss my friends a lot, and I wanted to basically do everything that I could. I got involved in my sports much more. I got involved in the other athletic departments. I went to every football game, I went to every baseball game, basketball, stuff like that. It was just so fun to go with friends, and I really recommend it.
One of the most common tendencies as seniors is to skip class, drop your activities, and just kind of laze around. It's a phenomenon known as senioritis. But personally, I would greatly advise against that. I have chosen to maintain a balance between hanging out with friends and actually enjoying my senior year, but also keeping up my grades and continuing my extracurricular activities like volunteering.
This year I'm one of the ASB presidents, so now that we're back, we're able to have assemblies, which is one coming up. We're able to have dances, we're able to actually get the school involved the way that we used to and try to bring back our traditions, so that's mostly what I've focused on ever since we came back.
Were you prepared for navigating the college application process? And if so, what do you wish you would have done differently?
I wish I would have known that I didn't need to apply to every college and get accepted into everything in order to be successful. There were a lot of people in my life that applied to a lot of schools, and I felt like I needed to apply to this crazy amount of schools to be see any amount of success, but rather it was more about finding the things that fit my specific needs, and the College and Career Center really helped me achieve that in finding the small things that would help me in my career.
I think I was pretty well prepared. I am taking AVID 12 right now, and Mr. Wolf has been really helpful through the whole thing, and also my mom and my sister, because my sister just graduated college, so I had a lot of advice and experience that I learned from her, and then my mom, just very helpful always. So everything kind of went pretty smoothly, and it was really nice actually. I don't think I would change anything. Maybe visit some more college campuses.
When you considered your after high school plans, did you think about the cost? What resources did you use to help you find funds to pay for your post-high school plan?
So when I was considering what I was planning to do post-high school, I knew I was looking at a college, and I knew that as far as costs go, that my family was going to struggle a little bit with the costs of most colleges that I would consider going to. So I've worked on applying to a bunch of scholarships, both that I found through Westview and that I've just found on my own. So I ended up making a spreadsheet of a bunch of scholarships and gradually applying to them as the year went on, so that hopefully that will help me cover some of the cost of college.
Well, I knew that it was going to be really expensive, but I didn't know how expensive it truly was until I started the process. I didn't even consider dining or living expenses, and I'm really fortunate to have plenty of financial aid in my life, but it also helps so much to be able to get the financial aid you need from scholarships. I knew that scholarships were a thing, but I never knew how helpful they really were. And the deadlines can really sneak up on you, so I would suggest to anyone who needs that financial aid to look for those options for them, because there really is a scholarship for everyone and anyone.
So a lot of college comes down to the financial part of it, how much you can afford in terms of tuition, in terms of the full cost, and a lot of your decision, like where you want to end up going, is going to be determined by that. Obviously, a large part of that is finding some sort of scholarship or funds that can help you out in the long run. A lot of them open up in the summertime or even like early fall, so September, and just making sure you're on top of things, as well as the FAFSA, which is actually our federal aid in the United States. So making sure you're applying for that early on, because it's almost a first come, first served basis. So making sure you're just staying on top of things in terms of financial costs, so making sure that you can afford it and not putting yourself out there to not be able to afford something like you would get into your dream school and you're not able to go there simply because of cost. That would honestly suck. So just making sure you have some sort of backup scholarships, or your parents have a financial plan that is able to support you, or you find some sort of federal loan or aid private loan to help you out.
What did you do over the summer to help you prepare for your post-high school plan?
As high school students, we're all super busy during the school year, which leaves summer as the only time we have to really delve into our interests. So personally, I did internships and classes over the summer in different areas to get a better understanding of what I wanted to do after high school ends. Outside of internships and classes, really anything that gets you working in a field that you might be interested in pursuing is a great use of your summertime.
A large part of the college application process is the Common App essay, also known as the personal statement. So you submit one essay to every single college you apply to, and they look at this with a great detail. So you want to make sure that this essay is like one of your best ones. And so thinking about like ideas or brainstorming certain like parts of your life so you can figure out what you want to write about during the summer is something that helped me out personally. So like I had like a list over the summer, like a small note on my phone, and then whenever I thought of like an idea for my Common App essay, I'd write it down, and then when fall time came around and like it was time to apply to colleges, I had an entire list I could look at, and I didn't struggle with thinking of an idea for my Common App essay. And then on top of that, just making sure you stay proactive in terms of the college application process, so knowing when the deadlines are, setting yourself up during the summer, so like researching colleges that you want to go to, so you know, like make a list and affordability, the acceptance rate, like what kind of GPA, SAT they require, like standardized tests and stuff. Just making sure you're setting yourself up so that you have certain colleges you can apply to, have like a list of safety schools, reach schools, target schools. That way you're prepared coming into the fall.
I actually toured a couple schools over the summer, which was definitely helpful in kind of understanding like the energy of different schools, but the majority of the work that I did was kind of working on starting my college essay, since that's such like a big part of the application process.
Did you have someone in your life that helped you with your post-high school plans?
I reached out to the College and Career Center, and they've helped me so much because I really didn't know where to start. I didn't really have somebody in my family that could guide me too much because they're not coming for the same background. But they've helped me a lot. They've walked me through college essays and college applications. My counselor as well, whenever I felt like, a school wasn't going to get back to me and I was worried and I wanted to reach out to them, he really helped me get to them and calm down and realize that everything's going to be okay with this. So it was pretty helpful to reach out to the school.
My parents really helped me with my post-high school plans. I would say that to anyone who doesn't feel like they have any support in the decision that they're trying to make for their college path or even career path or anything like that, any path that you're willing to take, any support that you're not given, you will find later with the people that you meet. No matter what or what it feels like, you're never alone.
I would say all the people I've met in high school that have gone to college or are going to college right now, because they have a lot of experiences that I haven't had the chance to experience yet. So I got to hear a lot of their opinions and their choices, which helped me decide mine. So I'd say everyone that's going through the college experience process and people who've already gone through it.
If college-bound, how did you come up with your college list? Is it important to visit a college campus to help you decide?
I came up with my college list kind of based on a combination of like the location where I wanted to go to school and what kind of programs the school offered. And I have visited 2 colleges, one of which being the one I'm deciding to go to, and it definitely helped to be able to kind of get the energy of the campus and see what like the people were like and the place was like, and see the kind of community that you would be inserting yourself into for the next couple years.
Everyone has a different perception of what it is they want from a college experience. And the most important thing is to internalize that and actually make a list out of it, such as do you want a big college or a small one? public or private? Do you have any locations you favor? Are there any particular locations you want to go to? And after you've made this list, you can go through and rank your colleges and make your list in this manner. As for the visiting the college campus itself, a lot of people find it helpful to go there and see what the vibe of the place is, because a college campus visit is a lot more than just seeing if the campus is pretty. You actually get to see what the student life is like and what things people do for fun when they go to that university or college.
For me, I had some scholarships to play football at some different places, because I'm going to the Air Force Academy to play football there. At the end of the day, what made me decide that place was education. And free education too, so I got a full ride there, and I was blessed to be able to do that. But at the end of the day, I picked what offer was the best education-wise, and so I think it was definitely important that COVID was harder because it was it took up a lot of my visit time where I was supposed to go visit these colleges, but I was able to visit this school, and I think it's definitely important that you go visit before you decide where you're going to be for the next 4 years of your life, definitely.
How did you come up with your final plan, and how did you know it was the right choice for you?
My final plan had to do with football because of some scholarships I received off football, and so at the end of the day, it was what offer I had that had the best education, and so that's what affected my final plan. And to prepare for that, I played football, youth league, high school, went to camps in the summer, did all this stuff to get recruited, and also had to do good in the classroom as well. And so because of all that, I was able to get some opportunities outside of high school, and so I was blessed for that, definitely.
It was the right choice for me because it was somewhere that wasn't too far away from home, but also a place that I can drive back if I wanted to. Because my sister, she had an issue where she would drive back from OSU every weekend, and that was probably not the best. So the place I chose is Montana, so I can't drive back every weekend, but I get to stay pretty local.
So for me, a lot of it came down to what was the best program for me. I wanted to do business, so going to somewhere that had really good resources and network was important for me, which is why I'm choosing to go to USC Marshall. It's a school in Southern California, and they have a really great alumni network. They have really good resources in LA, obviously. So having that backup and having that sort of support system going into a career where it's mostly about a network was important for me personally. And also I got a really good scholarship from there, so it was about tuition and affordability in terms of going to 4 years undergraduate. You don't know what you're expecting and stuff, so just making sure you have that backup system and you're able to afford that tuition is important for me. So yeah, that's why I chose USC.